Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Level Up Tactical here today to talk a little bit about firearm maintenance. So over the past couple of weeks, there have been a lot of talk on social media regarding maintenance of firearms, especially from new firearms owners. How do you clean them? What do you do? What do you use? How often should you clean them? And, the input from people have varied, from cleaning them every time you use them to cleaning them every couple hundred rounds to I never clean my firearms, unless they stop working, that kind of stuff, which in my opinion, I don't do that. But I figured I'd do a quick video on the way that I've come to start cleaning my firearms. I used to spend hours cleaning. I go into the range, if I taught a class, there were loaners involved, then you had to clean the loaners and all this other stuff. So I was looking for ways to streamline the process down. And after watching a couple videos and talking to a couple different people, I was able to find a method that I feel is pretty good. Now, obviously, you're with this method, you need to start off with a fairly clean firearm. I mean, as clean as you could possibly get it. So if that means that you strip down your firearm and really get at it with the brush and the pick and make sure there's no carbon and as clean as you can possibly get it, moving forward from that point, maintenance will be very easy, okay? At least in my opinion, and in my experiences. So over the past, couple of months, I guess, I've been looking into ways to streamline the process, like I said. And one of the ways I've come to find that some of the professionals and the three-gun guys are doing it are with ultrasonic cleaners. Now, had I ever thought about doing it before? Yeah, I had thought about it, but I never really got into it. So after I watched some videos, talked to a couple people who actually are using this process, I come to find that, this was probably something that I want to get involved in. And basically, it's very simple. And believe it or not, it's fairly cost-effective to do. What you're going to do is you need to find an ultrasonic cleaner like this. Okay. Now this is, I got this off of Amazon. I think it was like $36. It's a very simple unit. It's got a plug, it's got a reservoir, it's got a little tray for your parts so they sit in there and they get them out after you have the fluid and stuff in there. And it's simple. You push you put your parts in there, you push the button, you let it go, you come back, you push the button again. When it's done, you wipe it dry, you clean it off, and dry it up basically, and put it away. Reassemble. You do need a fluid. Obviously, it's ultrasonic, and basically what it is, it vibrates your gear or your parts that are in there with ultrasonic waves and vibrations, and then the carbon and stuff falls off. And I have to tell you, I stripped down my. When I first tried this, I stripped down one of my pistols, and I thought this thing was clean. I mean, it looked clean. I wiped it with patches, nothing came off, no carbon, nothing anywhere. Started off with a clean tank of fluid, put it in there, ran it for 3 cycles, and I was amazed. The fluid went from a clear, translucent, dark lime green to black. So when you think your firearms are clean, putting it in ultrasonic, you're going to find that there's still stuff that you didn't even know was there, okay? So the solution that I use, that I found, is Lucas products. It's the Bohr Solvent ultrasonic cleaner. Ironically, we're talking about ultrasonic stuff, so this stuff works great. There is a rust inhibitor in it. It's fairly odorless. You still could smell it. It says it's odorless. Well, they say it's odorless, but you can still smell it. But it's not overly potent. It's not like you're smelling transmission fluid or something. Okay. So this bottle runs roughly $50, and you can actually reuse the fluid over and over and over again until you feel comfortable that it's time to change it. I usually go about 10 to 15 cleanings, and then I'll swap out the fluid. Now, the ultrasonic cleaner that I have takes maybe, I don't know, maybe about a cup and a half to 2 cups of fluid. This is a 64-ounce bottle, so you can get quite a few refills or recharges, so to speak, out of this bottle. As with anything else, once you clean a firearm, I'm skipping ahead a little bit here, but when you go to reassemble, you probably should lube a little bit, depending on what you want to use. Again, I'm a big fan of the Lucas gun oil, the green stuff, not the orange stuff, the extreme duty stuff. I've never had any problems with it. There was another company that I was using for a while. I was testing it out, and it was awful. Basically, after a short storage period, every single pistol I used was like, it looked like somebody like sprayed spray glue inside of it. So I'll do a video on that coming up soon. But in any case, and then, you know, at some point, if you're really dirty, maybe you've skipped a couple cleanings and you get some real heavy stuff, you'll need some sort of spot solvent, so to speak. And I tend to like this Shooter Lube Stage 1, the Solvent. It works great. You know, it is what it is. You hit it on there a little bit. My experience has been exactly like the commercials. I sprayed it on my firearms with the barrel, the feed ports and stuff like that. Let it sit for a few minutes, wipe it off, clean. So this is what I use. Use what you feel comfortable with. I'll do a video on this soon too. So in any case, the process is simple. Like I said, you fill the ultrasonic cleaner with your fluid. You go ahead and turn the cycle on for, I suggest 2 cycles. This is a 5-minute cycle, so you put it in there for 10 minutes, from my opinion, and then you let it run its course. You take the products out, your pieces out, you lay it out on your towel, and go ahead and pat it dry and reassemble. So let me get through it right now. I'm going to go ahead and readjust the camera, and we'll pick up where we're going to disassemble a P320 compact. You can see it is safe and it is clear. There's nothing in it. And we'll run it through a cycle and show you how it works. Okay, everybody, we're back, and we have everything set up here. Now my ultrasonic cleaner with the fluid already inside. You can see that there. Now the fluid is fairly translucent. I'm going to show you that real quick here, so you have an idea what the Lucas bore solvent looks like. This is I've probably cleaned about two fairly clean pistols already with that fluid, so it is not as clear and as green as it would be as if it came out of the bottle. Okay, again, we're using the Lucas Oil Bore Solvent Ultrasonic Gun Cleaner, and this is not a paid advertisement. I paid for that fluid myself. And we have a P320 compact. Here we can see that it is clear. There's nothing inside. There's no magazine. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the lid off of this here, put it down. We're going to go ahead and strip the P320 down. We're going to take pretty much, I'm going to take it all the way down. I'm going to take the barrel out, the spring out. I'm going to go ahead and pop out the rear plate. I'm going to pop out the striker, the spring, the extractor. I'm going to take the takedown pin out, pop the fire control group out. Now, the only thing I would tell you guys to do is when buying an ultrasonic cleaner, buy one that's a little bigger than the one that I have here. I bought this as a test. I didn't want to spend a ton of money, wasn't sure if it was going to work or if I was going to like it. Now that looking back, I wish I bought one a little longer. As you can see, this P320 compact slide doesn't fit completely in. I'm going to say try and buy one that's a little bit bigger. I did see one on Amazon that's probably about the same amount of money, about $38, $42. That will actually fit the full slide in there. If you get one smaller, you can still use it. Basically what you'll do is you'll put your slide in on an angle so it sits in the fluid, and you can see here, if you could see, but the this part here, I haven't scrubbed this part here to get carbon off in a very long time. Basically, I use this cleaning system here. When I get it home, I spray it with solvent, spray, quick wipe with the towel. In there, it comes out, wipe it off. That thing is shining clean, looks practically brand new. So in any case, you can just basically take the slide and you put it in on an angle this way. For this video, I'm actually not going to put that in there just because I want to make it quick and simple for you guys. So basically, you have your firearm stripped down. Now this bore solvent, the other reason why I like this stuff from Lucas is that it is polymer safe. So if you put polymer parts into this solution, it's not going to degrade them, it's not going to dissolve them. It is polymer safe. So you could take, basically, I could take this if it was big enough and I could drop it in there to clean out any carbon that might be building up in there. So basically all you do is you take your parts, you drop them into the solution. You might want to wipe them down first. Again, like I said, these are fairly clean for being where they are. They haven't really been used. I think this has only got about 50 rounds through it since the last time it was cleaned. So you take the the whole fire control group, just drop it in. Okay, take the spring, drop it in, the back plate, extractor, this pin that was supposed to be on the fire control group, striker, spring, and the takedown lever. And basically cover it, turn it on, and let it go for about 5 minutes each. Like I said, this particular unit has a 5-minute cycle, so you put it on. I put it on for 2 cycles if it's fairly clean. If it's dirty and I've shot a lot of rounds, I'll put it in for 3 cycles after I've wiped it down. And that's it. You come back and you're good to go. Now in the meantime, if you have more than one pistol that needs to get done, you can basically take your other one apart at this point, start pre-cleaning, pre-treating with the solvent, wipe down, and get it all laid out in a towel ready to go, so that when this is done, you can basically take the parts out, start your next pistol, and be done with it. And like I said, you know, while you're waiting, you could take your time and you can wipe down your other parts, you wipe down your slide, whatever you want to do. You can take some cleaner, spray out your frame. Like I said, this is, for what it is, this is fairly clean. Like I said, it's only had about 50 rounds since the last time I've used it through, cleaned it, I mean, through here. So there's not much to be cleaned on this here. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Hey guys, we're back, and it's been about 10 minutes. I've had it on for 2 cycles, and basically now we're ready to go ahead and dump out the parts here and see what we got. Again, it's very simple. This particular unit that I have has a strainer tray, which is nice because you know, you don't have to go fishing through the thing with your finger looking for the parts. You essentially just fish out your tray, give it a little shake, get some of the excess fluids out of it. Of course, I did drop the pin in there. And then just go ahead and dump it out right on your towel, and you're good to go. Now, I do have to get in there and pull this little pin that I dropped out through the crack on the basket. And then drop the basket back in, set your cleaner aside, and basically at this point you can let it air dry. You can let this air dry. You can wipe it down. I'm a little impatient, so I tend to just go ahead and want to wipe it down. I'm going to stick this pin back in here so we don't lose it again. And basically, straightforward. You take your part, you wipe it down. Now, like I said before, I had cleaned this. This was fairly clean prior to it going into the ultrasonic, so it did not change the color of the fluid. But you will see, upon your first try of ultrasonic cleaning, at the very least, by the second time you run it, the fluid will change color. A lot of stuff, a lot of things that inside your, like especially on the Sig, on your fire control group, a lot of us don't take it down all the way every single time we clean it. We just basically pull it out like this. We'll spray it down, blow some air in there, and we're good to go. This will actually get the parts out, the bits of carbon that may be building up inside of it out. And I don't know if you can tell from the video, but the parts look wet. They're not. They're dry. Okay. They just, like I said, the Lucas Oil bore solvent cleaner system, the fluid, has a rust inhibitor in it, so it will leave your parts fairly lubricated and slick to end with. You know, and again, you know, you may go ahead and clean it, lube it however you want later on. So I just give everything a quick wipe down, and I did drop that pin again. I'm gonna put that back in there. So I'll put that back in here, okay. And a striker. Now, normally I have a can of air handy, and unfortunately I don't know what I did with it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe this down, pat this down dry, make sure I don't lose that little spring again. Okay. That down there, get my extractor spring, make sure it's in. You can see from this white towel, you know, some of these, that's from before, but none of this is coming off dirty. And again, in all fairness, this is a fairly clean pistol to start with, but you know, you get the idea, you know what I'm saying. So you wipe everything down, my extractor, wipe down the back plate. Now at this point, we're good to go. We're pretty much done cleaning this pistol. We're going to go ahead and reassemble. So let's go ahead and get the slide back together. And we'll drop this in this way. Good. Drop the striker back in. Our end plate. A little pen. Push that in. Let's back together and put the barrel in. Now at this point, again, depending on your preference, you can choose to lubricate or not. Like I said, the bore solvent does have some lubrication properties to it. You can lubricate. Some people tell you to do it. Some people tell you not to do it. It's really up to you. I personally would go ahead and lubricate. Some parts on here are metal to metal. And as always with metal to metal, you want to make sure there is some sort of lubrication going on. So we're going to drop our fire control group back in. And my takedown lever. Now, I tend to lubricate just a little bit. A little drop here, a little drop there, a little drop there on each of the cams here. And I do wipe it. Not too much, just enough to make things happy. And I am a little drop there, a little drop there, a little drop there. And go ahead and reassemble. Now that sounds real nice, not gritty, nice and smooth. We're gonna test fire. Feel good. And that's pretty much it. You know, at this point, you can wipe the top, wipe it down. But that's pretty much it. That's the process involved in ultrasonic cleaning your firearm. So that pretty much wraps up the cleaning portion of everything here. You know, we reassembled our pistol, and we're good to go. So just to recap, we used a $40, $38 ultrasonic cleaner that we got off Amazon. Probably going to get a bigger one just because this particular one doesn't really fit the compact slide, and I want to be able to put a full-size slide in there and full-size barrel so that I can you know, just ultrasonic clean everything else as it comes through. The solvent that we used was the Lucas, almost threw it at you guys, the Lucas bore solvent and ultrasonic gun cleaner. It's semi-odorless. It does stink a little bit, but it's not real bad. And you can see on here it says removes lead, copper, carbon, fouling, oil, powder residue. It's great for ultrasonic use, which is what we're using it for today. There is a rust inhibitor in it, and there is some lubricant to it, lubricity to it. So it does keep your parts in good condition on the firearm, especially if you're going to store it. Again, when reassembling your firearm, you want to go ahead and use some sort of lubricant. Some people will tell you don't have to. I use it. It's up to you. Probably should use it. Metal on metal. You probably need something there, okay? And again, pre-treat, just like your laundry. If you have some stubborn stuff on there, you might want to spray it down with some pre-treat. I use this Shooter Lube solvent, stage 1. I don't use the oil. I'm a big fan of the Lucas oil. I've always been a big fan of Lucas oil. And I did stray from the Lucas oil for a while, and I tried this other stuff called Fire Clean, which basically turned your firearm internals into gum. So I'll do a video on that soon too. I have a little bit of that stuff left. But yeah, so I'm back on the Lucas oil, and I loved it. I've been using it for a long time, and I suggest you guys use it too. So all together, like I said, you know, the ultrasonic cleaning is a real nice way to do it. I've found after you do an initial clean on your firearm, if you're going to start using ultrasonic, do an initial clean, tear it down, spend the time, get all the carbon out, get your scrubbers, your little nylon brushes, your picks, and all that stuff, get the carbon out, get this thing as clean as you possibly can. Then strip it down, drop it into the ultrasonic cleaner with a fresh batch of fluid, turn it on for 2 or 3 cycles, and be amazed on how much stuff comes out of what you already thought was clean. And then once that's done, every time you come back from the range or whenever it's time to clean, you drop it in there. You take it apart, drop it in there, and you're going to find that cleaning is a breeze. If you guys have any questions or want to comment on this video, maybe there's something that I missed in the process, post down below. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos for product reviews. I got a bunch of stuff coming in from distributors that they're sending me to do some reviews on. I got P320 upgrade videos coming out. I have training videos coming out. We got a whole summer series at the range that my partner Karis and I are putting together that we're going to be shooting videos for. There's all kinds of stuff coming up, so hit that subscribe button. We're really going to launch the YouTube channel this year and really push it out there with some good information for everybody, especially product reviews. Man, there's some really, really exciting stuff coming in that you guys have to take a look at. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Visit us on Facebook, facebook.com/leveluptactical. Check out all of our social media platforms down below. I'll link them down there. I'll link put a product link to the Lucas Oil, the Shooter Lube. And by the way, all of the products that you saw today were not sponsored. They're not sent to me. We purchased them on our own, and we're using them. So this is not a paid advertisement. I really, really like the way that this system cleans my firearms, and I think you guys will too. Stay safe, everybody. Shoot straight.